fundamentals, you talk about these all the time. I think the 5 pillars, if you will, are sunlight, if I may, getting light in your eyes.
Yeah.
Avoiding too frequent bright light exposure in your eyes at night, unless you're doing something you really enjoy. So sunlight during the day, morning and day, and trying to limit bright light exposure at night as much as is normally possible. Then I would say movement. So you got to move, cardiovascular and resistance training. That's one of the beautiful things I think that's happened in the last couple of decades is that it's, resistance training is no longer just considered the thing that football players and bodybuilders do. Right. Everyone, old, young, female, male.
Most women realize that the only reason why women do get too big is they take exogenous hormones. Yeah. They're taking steroids.
Yeah, you throw a bunch of Anavar in there, you get the square jaw. And so,
that's what they want to avoid.
Yeah.
But women who don't do that and who lift weights regularly look way better.
They look way better, and our friend Peter Attia has talked about one of the major causes of death later is, falls due to stepping down off things. Inability to hang from a bar is correlated with lack of health, right, in men and women. So being able to have some strength. So exercise, then nutrients, right? Macronutrients, proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. People now think about it. So you need all that stuff, vitamins, minerals, and then the other stuff. And then I think sleep, right? I think Matt Walker deserves a tremendous debt of gratitude from everybody, because 10 years ago, everyone was like, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Now we know you're probably not going to dissolve into a puddle of your own tears from a couple of bad nights sleep every once in a while, but sleep makes you mentally, physically better. You perform better. And then the last one is this whole social connection, right? You can't stay isolated constantly or people lose their minds.
Yeah.
So when you look at people that get very depressed or they're suicidal, one or several of those 5 things is going to be diminished. And then what happens is people hear about deliberate cold exposure, and if they don't like it or they want to poke at it, they say, oh, it blocks hypertrophy. Okay, well, only if you do it in the 4 to 6 hours after a hypertrophy workout. Well, they've looked immediately after, again.
Immediately after is bad. So if you work out, but you can do it after cardio, right?
Yeah.
Like the only time I do it right after workouts is after I do really hard cardio workout, and then I'll do the sauna for 25 minutes, and then I'll do the cold plunge.
I mean, it lowers inflammation, which is what you want from the resistance training.
Right.
Again, I point to Lane and to Andy Galpin, who've been shouting from the rooftops for years. Blood pressure up, inflammation up is a good thing. So you have to be careful when someone says, oh, you eat the hormetic effect. You eat this, you become inflamed. Well, how long and what's the hormetic effect? Deliberate cold exposure, people like to say, oh, it doesn't burn much fat, it blocks hypertrophy. But if you look at the mental benefits of having your catecholamines, dopamine, norepinephrine, and epinephrine, systemically elevated to 2 to 3x for 4 to 6 hours after a 30-second to 3-minute protocol, you're not going to show me a drug or a form of exercise that can do that.